All right, yeah. All praises go to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakak Wadash. Giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, my Father in heaven. The King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the God of gods. There is no other gods besides him. Only the ones that he made, and they are below him. He is the highest, which is his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. The holy ark, the high holy angels in heaven, and the angels on the ground, which are the children of Israel. Other than that, all the gods of wood and stone, they do not exist. Much love to the beautiful Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. And he gave his life for the children of Israel so that they may be saved. Well, the elect may be saved and grafted into the new covenant, where they can be protected when these dark times come upon us. And, much love to Israel, the children of Israel, the only nation granted for us salvation. And also whom the world calls other names that have no power, which is Yahweh Shai, which is Jesus Christ. And along with those other names like Yeshua and many, many other names that they call him that don't have no power. Much love to the chosen children of Israel, the elect, whoever they may be among the children of Israel. Much love to you. And much love to the new covenant brothers that's in the truth, the prophets that's in the truth, the Akim, and the other brothers that believe, who do everything in their power to show you how Bashem Yahushua that they love him and they fear him. Much love to the Akwaf, the beautiful sisters that's in the word. And whether or not you got a man or not, you still fear the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh. You listen and you learn in silence. Coming back at you with another episode through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Today's a beautiful day. Today's title is conditioning. Because living in this society, they got a lot of things and a lot of ways that they can treating the populace, not just the children of Israel, but everybody that lives here. And how they use things, to dumb down the spirit, to dumb down the person, to make them docile, somewhat forms of mind control in a way. And if a person is not mindful of this, or they don't see it, or they don't acknowledge it, they can easily fall for this type of stereotype, this type of trap, and they can be easily hypnotized, into doing these things and living the way that they live, and all for the benefit of the people that are already ahead. Like I said in the Bible, only he will only let until he be taken out of the way. He that let will only let until he be taken out of the way. So, you got the, you got the white men, the higher level of white men that are in league. But the problem with them is that's the difference between them and the Israelites that were ruling, is that the Israelites shared the wealth. They shared their wealth. When the Edomites got into power, they didn't share nothing. They kept everything to themselves. They heaped all the treasures unto themselves, and they not giving nothing up. They keeping it for them, and they just saying, forget about everybody. If you happen to make money or become a millionaire, probably do it on your own. It's probably 10 times harder, or if you do, you do. But other than that, you're not gonna get it. Well, not even if you do, because there's a system for that. But other than that, as far as I'm concerned, they the ones that's in power, and they letting everybody else suffer. They even letting the Edomites, their own children suffer. What it says in the Bible says the children shall complain of an ungodly father. So, the Edomites that are up, the Edomites and their forefathers that are at the top, all the way at the top. They could care less about the rest of the Edomites. They can care less about them. If they poor, then they poor. If they don't have it, if they unfortunate, if they homeless, that's on them. They stuck in financial troubles. That's a problem for them. They might have a couple of benefits to that, but other than that, they always gonna stay where they at. They gonna stay in the rat wheel. They're going to stay a cog in the machine, per se. And, they're going to stay at the bottom because there's a hierarchy and there's a lower hierarchy when it comes to the Edomites. So when it came to the Israelites, they was on some everybody win. You know, everybody win. Everybody, you know, make money. You know, they might have had the hierarchy and lowerarchy, but I'm just saying, they did let some of them Edomites into royalty. So, you know, they shared the wealth, you know, at the end of the day. But you got them that's in power, they don't share the wealth. You know, they keep it all to themselves. So we can get that quick precept. Give me a moment, because having trouble breathing right now. I need more water. Ooh, it is hot today. Ooh, I didn't know I was that dehydrated. Damn. It's hot. The heat is evaporating the very water out of me. Shit. Ah. Oh my goodness. Oh, we can get that. Okay, this is it. It's Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. It says, ye also, because he that transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth by home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. It says, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So I got that wrong. I thought it said heapeth unto all treasures, but it's all people. So you know, that also goes into the coming of the grain of rice, when everybody got to get chipped or whatever, and they make it mandatory. But he do also got all the treasures. He got all the money, everything in the world to himself. And it says, and cannot be satisfied. So he always wants more. And the problem with him is that like the Lord said, if I let this continue, then none of you will be saved. We will all be consumed, you know, by the Edomites and by the white men, because of his desire. And his desire is only going to lead him to destruction, you know. But, you know, heaping unto all treasures, we can get that too. We in Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 2 through 11. It says, vanity of vanities, says the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. It says, what profit hath a man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun? It says, one generation pass away and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. That's true. So let me finish reading this before I break it down. It says, the sun also riseth and goeth down, and hastened to its place where he rose. It says, the wind gored toward the south and turned about toward the north. It whirlwind about continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits. It says, all the rivers run to the sea, into the sea. It says, yet the sea is not full. It says, unto the place from hence the rivers come, thither they return again. It says, all things are full of labor, man cannot utter it. It says, the eye is not satisfied with seeing it, nor the ear with hearing. It says, the thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. And like he said, it says, what profit have a man have which he taketh under the sun? It says, one generation passeth away, another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. So now one of the white man's blessings was to dwell in the fatness of the earth. But guess what? This is a double-edged sword, a catch-22 to the blessing that he got from Isaac. The blessing can always be transferred to another. It's just materialism. So that's one thing to the Edomites that they don't understand, is that, well, they probably do understand it, but they, make it seem like it's not impossible to happen, to where, like I said in the Bible, the kingdom of heaven shall be translated from one people to another. So with that being said, all of that possessions, all of the fatness of the earth, it goes from one people to the next, from one person to the next. And with that being said, it's temporary. It's materialism, It's no different than a man dying and leaving his fortune within the will to hand over to his children. It's no different than that. So when it's time, or during times of war, one country overpowers another, and guess what? The country that overpowered that one country that they fought, they get all their possessions, they get all their treasures, they get everything. So with that being said, it's only materialism. That's what he doesn't understand. That's what they need to understand. Like one day, and that day is getting closer, that everything will return back to the hand of the children of Israel. So, and it's not like it belonged to them anyway, it belonged to them. So, and the Lord is going to give it back to them. So it's like, all this is temporary. So it says, is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It hath already been of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. Right, the past doesn't even matter. A lot of this doesn't even matter. A lot of this materialism, all this don't matter, man. It don't. So with that being said, we can move on. The conditioning of society right now today is, based on the way they got it all set up. I hear a guy online talking about this, and it's more and more evident than ever, how society has been conditioned and how the people is being ran. And like I said, it's no new thing under the sun, so it's not really nothing new. It's always been kingdoms, that want control or tried to have control over all the people, and sucking the people dry and being greedy. People living in major poverty, while the royal bloodline is the ones that got all their food, all their reserves, they got everything, and they forcing people to rebel, breaking their back and then forcing them to rebel. So, this ain't nothing new, but I'm just saying, like, for right now, the current conditioning, you go to work, you go to work, you go to school, you learn their curriculum, and then after you learn their curriculum, you graduate. Well, actually, you can rewind it all the way down to a child. As soon as you're born, on your way of growing up, you constantly being beaten your head to follow a certain regimen, a certain procedure, a certain culture, and you being pushed with force before you can even become fully conscious of your decisions, fully conscious of what you want to do or your place in the world, by elders and parents and people that came before you. And then upon that time, you go to school double down on that pressure, even though you got good qualities from school to where you learn, you read, write, you learn read and write, that's good qualities. But other than that, you being beat down constantly with the curriculum of school, and they forcing you to learn a certain type of thing, learn a certain type of way, be conformed in a certain type of way. And then on top of that, your parents has already been through the same procedure that you have, and they're encouraging you to learn and to go through the same procedure. So you're being pushed forward. By the time that you get out of school, you're fully indoctrinated in whatever the system wants you to believe and whatever they make you believe. And not only that, you continue to cycle, and you push, not only you push it on others, but you push it on your children, and you get married, that's another one. Get married, and guess what? A lot of that money, from all the way from your parents to school to marriage and to children, a lot of that money is going back in the system because they price tag on everything, and marriage is one of the big ones, to where, regardless how the relationship turned out, they want the marriage. They gonna make money off the marriage, and especially if you're going to church to get married, they gonna make the money back. And on top of that, to the divorce, and divorce is gonna cost thousands more dollars to get that done, and the government is gonna make money off that. And that's one thing this guy I was listening to, this guy said. He said, why would you want to involve the government on y'all relationship? If y'all gonna get married, then just go get married. There's ways you could get married without the government being in y'all situation. But this is a part of the procedure. This is part of the regimen. So this is what they believe. And upon that, after you get married, you start working, y'all have kids, and you're supposed to have a relationship with this person and be in love with this person. But at the same time, you pushing so hard to support your family and your wife demands, to the point to where you don't have no time for yourself. What it say? He who loves the world loses himself, loses his own soul. So with that being said, you lose yourself in the process, especially for men in this society, man. Next thing you know, you got the schedule down pat, to where you go to work, you deal with your family, you deal with your wife, you go to sleep, the day repeats. On top of that, you gaining weight, you becoming more out of shape. Unlike your wife, she still got a good look. She still got a nice shape to her, while you letting go because you feel like you done accomplished your purpose. Your work is finished. Next thing you know, a couple of years down the line, everything boomerang and everything collapses. Your wife leave you. She want to take custody of the kids because she knows she can make she can make money off the kids. She want to put you on child support. She want alimony for the divorce or however they do it. She don't want you to get no prenup, to where she can take half of all your stuff. And on top of that, by the time she's done with you, you're going to be an old, worn out, fat guy that just want to love his kids and want to be with his wife. And if he can't be with his wife, he want to be with his kids. And you just gridlock into this whole thing. And guess what? The government is not only, they done made thousands off you, off just them situations alone, the procedure alone. They still making whatever they can off you before you probably pass away from overweight, from diabetes, and from other diseases that are born out of the food that we eat. Oh man, the food that we eat is even worse. The things that we eat, the things that we consume. How you doing, brother? You believe in the Bible? I said, you believe in the Bible? Do you like reading it? Sometimes. Stay blessed, man. You should get into it sometime, man. We the chosen children, man. We should know we kings, man. Yup, stay safe. But yeah, oh my goodness. And from all the food that you've been eating, you don't know that they've been putting all type of unsafe preservatives inside the food, type of unsafe chemicals into the food, unknown drugs into the food to make you addicted to the food. And on top of that, there's cancers inside the food, especially if you go out to eat or you indulge too much in these type of foods without you eating safe, without you fasting, without you working out. Oh man, you lose yourself, you lose the gym, you lose your form. Next thing you know, you're unattractive. You can't even attract the women that you once did when you was younger. You're no longer appealing and you worn out. And sometimes when people, sometimes when people get to that point, they get to the point of no return. And guess what? That's that TV show, My 600-Pound Life. They get to the point to where it's no return. And I don't know how in the world they be getting that money to where they could get the liposuction or the surgery done. That's crazy, because a lot of people don't have that. They don't have that type of money. So a lot of people be passing away from overweight and other harmful diseases, from them eating what they eat. And that could be the end of you, man. And this is the conditioning of the world. This is conditioning of the nation that we live in. This is what the Edomites got set up, man. Hey, man, don't you die. Don't you die. They making money off the death, too. They making money off the death. And if you die broke, they still making money off you, and you can't even get a traditional funeral or eulogy or whatever they call it, funeral, and or waken. That's what they call it, waken, because you and your family can't afford it. But they can afford it when you die. Oh, man, that lets you not break a bone or let you not get a disease to where you got to get it removed out of your body, which happens to everybody every now and then. And then you got to go to the hospital, and guess what? They making all type of money off that. They can't wait. Let you go to the hospital, man. Hospital is one of the worst places to be. At first, you would love to go, but as soon as you see that bill that they give you, what, $15,000 bill just for you to get checked up to make sure that you okay, and then you on top of that, you got to get insurance, which is some sort of valid proof that you got a discount or you get some type of help from the government to take off some of that money, or to cover it or whatever. You can't just do that on your own, so it's just like, it's even worse in this place to live in this place, man. It's hard, man. So we can get that real quick. And it says, for behold, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 68. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idled with things offered unto idols. So they feeding you all kind of mess. They feeding you all kind of different knowledges, different foods, and things that you're not supposed to be eating, things that you're not supposed to be learning, that's accustomed to them. They trying to put it on you, and it's not for you, So, and then this goes for everybody, because everybody knows that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is the one and only true God. There's no other gods, that's on the earth, that's that exists, that can contend with him or even exist. So at one point in time, everybody used to worship the Lord. Everybody used to worship Yahweh. The whole world knew it, and they used to worship him, But now today, you got it to where, aside from that fact, I'm just saying, with that, the Lord got a schedule for the Israelites. He got the health, ways to take care of yourself, ways to live longer, different medicines, all kind of things that the Lord teaches, not only just us, but taught the world once, and we were the enforcers. So whatever he taught us, we taught the world so they could live better, So it's like, but nowadays we got the wrong people that's in rule, and they feeding us a bunch of unhealthy things, man. That's exactly what they doing. So we can get that too. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 30, it says, thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof. That's right, because somebody else is taking them. And this is what's happening to us, man. When you got these people in rule, these greedy, evil people in rule. This is Obadiah chapter 5, and then this is verse 1, or chapter 5, verse 5, I think. It says, if thieves came to thee, it says, and if robbers came by night, how art thou cut off? It says, would they have not stolen till they've had enough? It says, if grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? They didn't leave nothing. They took everything. They took everything. So we can go on and get another verse. And this is complete robbery. This is true right here. It says Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 18. It says, will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? And tithes and offerings. So this go to the false pastors that are in league with these people and these false preachers, man. It says, yet are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. It says, bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house. And prove me now herewith, it says, said Yahweh of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, it says that there shall not be room enough to receive it. It says, and I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes. He shall not destroy the fruits of your ground, neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, saith Yahweh of hosts. So now with this is specifically going to the children of Israel. Right now, the children of Israel is getting into it with the children of, I do believe, Ammon. I do believe the children of Asia or whatever. And the Asians, a lot of the older Asians are very racist. Despite the Afrocentric traditions that a lot of Asians indulge in, you got a lot of older Asians that are very racist. And they was making a lot of racist comments, which triggered a movement to where a lot of the Israelites started investing in black-owned companies and stopped investing into Asian companies, which could lead them to a collapse if it goes any further, you know, because they depend on the children of Israel to survive and to make it, you know, without them buying from the stores or getting or hair salons or nail salons or clothing brands getting supported, then they don't know what they're gonna do. You know, so we're going to see how long this lasts, but it's just a perfect example of investing and giving back. Now, if the children of Israel were all to go back to the Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and invest all the money back into the churches, you know, the church mean to be called out. People mean people called out, you know, and invest it back to the prophets so to help them build, you know, this would be even more powerful. You know, but for right now, that's just an example of what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be reimbursing it back to the Lord, you know, but at the same time, they're reimbursing it to themselves. I mean, this is a good thing that they put it back into themselves, but I'm just saying it'll be more powerful if they give it back to Yahweh. So it says, bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house. And prove me now herewith, said Yahweh of hosts, if I will not open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, there shall not be a room enough to receive it. That's right. We would be blessed even tenfold if the children of Israel were to go back to the Lord. We would be blessed so much it would be too much for us. You know? So that's one of the things that Yahweh can do. But I'm just saying the children of Israel all of us ain't came back, which is why nothing like that has happened yet, you know. And, you know, besides the fact, like I said, from the wicked children of Israel that are investing into the Edomites, and they scheme or whatever is going on with the pastors and all that, and them stealing all the money, spending all the money, and then investing it into the churches which belong to the Edomites, you know, this is a message towards them. And like you said, I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground, neither shall the vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, saith Yahweh of hosts. That's right. How y'all doing? It says, and all nations shall call you blessed. It says, for you shall be a delightsome land. That's right, because through us, all the nations are going to survive. Everybody in the new world. And it's going to be a new regiment. It's going to be a new schedule. It's going to be a new reconditioning. And it's going to be fair for everybody to benefit. And that's exactly what's going to happen when the Edomites are dethroned and the Israelites take place once again. Because the Israelites, when they get rich, they make sure everybody party, everybody celebrate, everybody good. I mean, of course, they have some broke people, you know, they have some bums, you know, but they even have benefits. They was even taken care of. And then, like I said, they even made sure that the other nations were aligned and took care of when they was in power. There wasn't no greedy people. There wasn't no evil, you know, people, you know. They actually respected the other nations. They actually respected the other people, man. You know, they shared the wealth, man. You know, the Israelites, the Edomites, they put the white man on, man. They put them on, man. Took them out the caves, put them in houses, taught them how to eat, taught them how to read and write, taught them how to see. You know, because they used to darkness and dark places, so they have to help them learn how to see, get used to the light. You know, the Edomites stopped being hunted. They even taught them how to hunt, taught them how to be soldiers, all kind of stuff. You know, some of the Edomites were beautiful, so they was even married into the Israelite families. They even got royalty. You know, but it wasn't enough for them. They wanted power, and not only that, they didn't rule. They didn't really rule in a righteous way. They took everything for themselves. They kept their neck on the children of Israel, because the world and the power and the materialism was so intoxicating. You know, they didn't give nothing back until this day. They ain't gave nothing back. We didn't do that to them when we was in power. You know, so it's like, you know, with that being said, you know, there got to be a new government, got to be a new change, and that way everybody can eat. You know, because everybody ain't eating, man. And the nations is going after the children of, the children of Edom and Babylon. They encourage them. So they got these hierarchies, lowarchies. They got the rich and the poor. They might have easier rules, you know, because the Babylon is like America is like one of the worst places to live. You know, but they're going to have easier rules, but they all going towards the same destination too. To each his own, man. It says, your words have been a stout to me. Against me, said Yahweh, yet ye say, what have ye spoken much against thee? It says, ye have said, it is vain to serve Yahweh. And what profit is that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before Yahweh of hosts? It says, and now we call the proud happy, yeah, that they work wickedness are set up. Yeah, it says that they tempt Yahweh. They that tempt Yahweh are even delivered. That's right. So you got a lot of our people that's saying, well, if we can't beat them, we might as well join them, which is a bad idea, because they still going to treat you like crap, you know, compared to Yahweh that would treat you with the highest regard. If you turn and you join the enemy, they not going to treat you. They going to always treat you like a slave, man. They will. You see it to this day with this, how society are for the children of Israel. We live in dirty ghettos. You know, the rent keep going up somehow on the cheapest places. You know, they try to cast us into the gutter with the rats and roaches. I mean, much love to the Israelites that do make it out of this. It is possible. But I'm just saying, as far as I'm concerned, for those of us that try to live below our means, you know, that try to survive, you know, and we ain't got it like that, but we make what we have abundant, you know, it's still bad living. It's still crap, you know. And they plan on trying to keep it. They plan on bringing us to a lower state. They want to throw us under the nation, you know. So it's like, you know, to them, they feeling like, well, the Lord Yahweh letting them get away with all this. I might as well just join them, because they the ones that's in charge. They the ones that the Lord allowing to push forward and to get away and do whatever they want, you know. So it says then they that feared spake to one another